voiceover agent extraordinary person, Shannen McGreevy from Lucas Talent. So you started out as an actor.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I studied at William Davis Center and had the time of my life. All throughout high school, I took theater, drama. When I graduated, I started taking part-time classes, and I knew that I absolutely loved it there. But then I took a break and went to Vancouver Film School for makeup artistry.
Oh.
And then I had my daughter, and a few years later, I went back to acting school. So, and I knew exactly where I wanted to go. I went to the William Davis Center in 2006. And I'm still in touch with my coaches from there.
Whoa.
And I just adore them. And I just adore them so much. And they just, it's proof how important coaches and mentors are for actors.
Yes.
And how connected you can be to them
Can
as
you
an
give
actor.
them, sorry to interrupt, can you give them a little shout out so I know who they are?
Oh my gosh, yes. So like Chilton Crane from Vancouver
Right.
acting, sorry, she's at Van Arts now, but she was one of my mentors and coaches at William Davis Center, of
Yeah.
course, William B. Davis,
Yeah.
who is represented by Lucas Talent. When I came to the agency, I was like dying. I'm like, no, oh my gosh, like big fangirl. And Christine Willis, just amazing coaches there. And I just had the time of my life. I could have stayed there forever.
That's really cool. I know how powerful those coaches are.
Yes.
As you know, I studied with William Davis as well, but not those two women, but I hear so many good things about them, and we share clients. And I love that powerful women are supporting powerful women. That's an important thing.
Yes, I am all about that.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay. So tell me how you got into being an agent. Tell me about the transition.
So I was actively auditioning, and I just on a whim, I was online, and I saw one of my old agents was starting up her own agency. And so while I was actively auditioning and sort of working part-time jobs to kind of keep things going, I just kind of as a joke, I asked her, do you need an assistant? And she said, no, I don't, but I know someone who does. And so kind of sat on it for a bit and kind of thought, well, what would it be like if I made the transition from an actor to an agent? Because it's so easy as an actor to just fall back on your agent, and there's so much that the agent does, and you're just like, okay, my agent will take care of it. So what would it be like for me, the actor, to be in that position? So I really had to think about it, but I ended up reaching out to her and started working as an agent in around the end of 2015, early 2016, and I stayed with it. So it's only been a short time, but there's so much that I learned from being an actor that I bring to being an agent, because I understand what they're feeling. I understand what they're going through. I understand the process. So I kind of connect with them on that level. And I think that's helpful.
Yes. And you know what? I know some of your clients, and they say that very same thing.
Oh, awesome.
They feel like you understand them. And I think I teach my clients that there are three kinds of agents. There's an agent who's a friend, someone you can work with. There's a partner, like a business partner type of agent. And then there's somebody who is just using you for money, and they'll get you all the gigs that you want, but they're not going to be your friend, and they're not going to be a partner.
Yeah.
And they're all great. They're all great because
they're all necessary.
They're all necessary
in some way.
Yeah. But if you're the kind of person who, like me, if I have somebody who's professional working for me, I don't always want a connection. Sometimes I do, but not always. Sometimes I want to feel that someone's just taking care of business.
Yes.
Like counting or something.
There's definitely boundaries on both sides. So yes, you do want sort of that connection on a personal level somewhat, but you do kind of have to set boundaries. This is a business. This is a profession. Yeah. This isn't like your best bud who you can just text at 1 a.m. in regards to your
Now that sounds like it's a real story.
It's happened. It's happened.
Oh my God. To me too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your clients and about the shows that they're on and the journeys that they've taken. If you have any client in particular that you could use as an example, with or without a name, of just how you can move forward in voiceover.
Oh gosh.
Or
I
not.
mean, sure. I mean, a couple of the shows that some of my clients are on that people would know about, or that people watch, of course, is Dragon Prince, which is really huge on Netflix right now. So I have a client who plays Soren, Jesse Anakalia, who plays the voice of Soren on that show.
I taught him.
I love that. You've worked with a lot of my clients, though, to be honest.
Yes. Oh, but that makes me so happy. I haven't seen him in forever, but he was one of my dear. Oh my God.
He's such an amazing person. I'm meeting him later, actually, for coffee.
Tell him I said hi. I'm just about to cry.
Sure.
Right.
I will. And he's doing really well. He's doing really well. And he's going to different conventions and stuff for Dragon Prince. And you know, he is going to be coming up on a new super exciting miniseries. And that's all I'm allowed to say right now. Super. So it's really exciting, and you know, clients on super monsters, you know, Marvel superheroes, My Little Pony, things like that. And of course there's always other things, commercial, audiobooks. There's tons of things that you can really branch off into when it comes to voice, and I love how accessible it is for people. So whether you have a stronger film and television background, or whether you have a strong voiceover background and no film and television, there's something for everyone that you can kind of go into. So that's what I really love. And you don't need to be on set for 16 hours a day, and you can even audition from home. So it makes it kind of convenient for people. Yeah,
I coach a few actors for their voiceovers. And I'm actually interviewing a few voiceover coaches and directors for the group as well, because I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. They're booking, but I know it's because of their ability. Really, I'm coaching them just to help, you know, them, you know, when you're doing something and you just need to hear the lines.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a whole different industry for me. Are there some good coaches that you can recommend?
Honestly, I'm a huge fan of On the Mic.
Me too. Great.
We're like best friends already. I'm a huge fan of On the Mic, and because it's specifically for voiceover.
Me too.
You go there to learn from people who are working in the industry in Vancouver.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are the people you want to learn from, because they know what's actively currently happening right now.
Yeah. And do you know who I'm interviewing? Jack Cox after you.
There you go. Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan. I always recommend them. And I think it's really important to learn from people who are actively working.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Although I've never acted. Well, I have, like when I was really young, but I went to acting school and then I started coaching actors and they started booking.
Yes.
And that's sort of how I've gone forward. I was an agent for a little while too.
Awesome.
And
see, so in your case, so you're just like sharing your knowledge. You're sharing what you know. You're sharing what you've been taught. And it's important. And that's another thing too for people, is to expand your network. You know what I mean? Learn from different people, because people have different things to offer. So you don't want to stick just to one place or just with one coach. You want to learn from different people, because different people do different things.
Yes, and have different points of view.
Yes.
Like different political and social and emotional ways of looking at the world. Yeah, I 100% agree. Although I do feel the same way about On the Mic. Like I send everybody there.
Yeah.
We're doing a commercial for them.
Yes.
But they really are so good.
And they have a great studio space. They just did renovations recently, I think within the past few years, and they've got a great space in Gastown. So I always recommend them.
Yeah. Awesome. Jack is my neighbor up on the Sunshine Coast.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so funny. But anyway, you know, kind of like long story.
Yeah.
So I know. So tell me what you get out of being an agent. Like, what's the satisfaction for you when you're doing your work?
You know what? There's, there's something funny about just the industry in general, film and television or voiceover, commercial, whatever it is. But in the industry, you'll always come across people who have something to complain about, but we stay in it. We keep going because we just love it. And there's something inside of us that just really connects with each other. And it's like, these are our people. So what I love about being an agent, especially coming from being an actor, is it's like, these are my people. And like how I went and did makeup for a little while, and I've worked on set doing crafty, and I've even worked in post, and I did editing. I did whatever I could to stay in the industry because I love the people who work in it, and I just love the industry as a whole. So me as an agent, it's incredible, and it happens every time when somebody books something. I automatically get goosebumps because I'm just so excited for them, and it's like I booked it. And sometimes even when I talk about it, I'm like, oh, I booked this awesome gig, or my client booked this awesome gig, because I feel it with them. And it's just you feel on top of the world, you know. And that's exactly where my client feels, and it feels so good to help them get there,
especially when it's been a tough slog for them, and then they get there and you're like, oh God, you know.
And it takes
around my house.
You have to hang on, you have to keep going. And then when you get that booking, you know, you ride with it, and then you're on to the next. You have to know that there's downtime and there's busy times. Go on vacation, then you'll book all the jobs in the world.
I actually have a I don't know, do you know the 12 steps from Alcoholics Anonymous? Have you heard of that?
Of course, I've heard of it. I don't know them, but I've heard of them.
Well, they're actually really good for helping you deal with, I did a modified version of them. I don't go to AA, it's not my thing, but I'm a girl who likes a glass of wine. But
coffee for now.
Yes, but coffee for now. Cheers. But the steps are really good for helping you deal with emotional issues, and for alcoholism, I imagine. So I've made a modified version of it for actors to, and I give it away for free. It's for actors to use to adjust their brain, because what the steps do, what happens in your brain when you're booking a gig or auditioning or whatever, working, and you have that drop in emotional temperature when you quit, you know, when it's all over, or the audition's over, your brain is having the same response as it has when you break up with somebody. So it feels like heartbreak, and alcoholism is the same way. So I just adjusted the steps, and it helps people think about how to cope. I know it came to me.
That's such a good idea, though, and it's so important. I remember the first commercial I booked. I was so nervous because I had to go in as it was a cheerleader. I had to be a cheerleader, and they wanted us to dress up as a cheerleader. I was like, I don't have a cheerleader costume. Like, what am I going to wear? Went to Value Village, bought whatever I could find, went in there. And I remember driving home going, that felt really good. And oh my gosh, I hope I get it. It was like when I was fresh out of acting school, and it was like my fourth audition. And I was holding on to it. I hope I get it. And then I was just like, you know what? That was a really great audition. I'm going to let it go, give it to the universe, and move on to the next. And then the next day, called me for a fitting. And I was like, I didn't even know I booked. I called my agent, and I just couldn't believe it. But it's so important. And we can really hang on to that. We can really hang on to those auditions, or we go into the auditions thinking about how much we want it. And that can get in our way.
Totally. But you know, giving the audition to the universe is the very first step of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's releasing your power to God, or I say the universe, or the collective consciousness, or whatever. But that's the step. And so it follows from there. You just have a few more steps to adjust. But and once you do that,
I like that.
Thanks. Yeah, I do. I worry a lot about my clients' mental health, because this industry is so tough. So I try and do coping mechanisms for them every time something like this happens.
And that's when the voice training and movement comes in handy when it comes to even voice actors. A lot of voice actors have like a strong theater background as well, because
Yeah.
they do a lot of body work and
Yeah.
voice work and breath work. And you can't have any emotional blockages that tense your muscles,
Yeah.
that will tense your vocal cords. So giving it up, learning how to relax, dealing with anxiety, all of that will help give it up to the universe or give it up to God or whatever you feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the way I coach is everything is your body.
Yes.
Everything. So all your emotions, everything. So if they're in touch with that, then they're going, I mean, no one's perfect, but you're going to have moments, but
Yes.
letting your body be okay, and massage, like all those things. I go for a massage and I tell my husband, it's just work related. I just,
Exactly.
I gotta
No,
go.
it's necessary. It's necessary. And yoga's
Totally.
kind of new to me. I do yoga almost every day. I'm actually becoming a part-time instructor. So
Oh,
yeah, and I was thinking about it, and I saw these different workshops. They did yoga at a voice studio in Vancouver for their voice clients. They sometimes offer free yoga workshops through UBCP,
yeah.
and yoga was introduced to me actually when I was in acting school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's also a very powerful tool.
Yeah, it is. I used to go to Bikram's every single day.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
hot yoga. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not a Bikram's fan because of Bikram,
Yeah.
but I'm a Bikram's fan because I just love what it does for my body, just cleansing. And
Totally.
also I live, as you may know, I live off the grid, and I
Yeah.
lived super off the grid before. So
Nice.
I didn't even have
Sometimes I wish I did.
bathroom. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But anyway, that's an aside. But yoga used to be my place to just sort of, you know,
Nice. And I think that's important when, even if it comes to a voice audition or an
yeah,
on-camera audition, it's
for
important to
sure.
take a moment beforehand, just sort of center yourself, kind of release any tension before you go into it.
And when you get
Instead of
up,
going into it with like a buzzing brain and you're thinking about so much and you're thinking about your next appointment, or you're stuck in traffic and you got to get to that audition. So even if you're in the car, it's just about taking that moment,
yeah.
deepening your breath, just kind of being present.
And after, because you've had all of those emotions coming through your body, and you need to get rid of them, or you're going to just be an asshole to people,
Totally.
or mess your own life up.
Yeah, and you're going to be thinking about it for the rest of your day.
Totally. Yeah. Or weeks.
Yes.
So I'm curious what you think is completely unacceptable. What your pet peeves are, the things that drive. Obviously, 1:00 in the morning phone calls are not fabulous.
Yeah.
But what I can see by your face, you would be a great actor. You're so it's so easy to read your face.
Yeah. I kind of have a few, but pet peeves, what, as far as demo, okay, well, pet peeves, things aren't really old school anymore. So do your research before you apply to an agency, and you don't need to pick up the phone and call them. Like there's kind of this disconnect when people think when everything is online all the time. But the truth is, do your research on the agency, and pretty much all agencies have their submission instructions on their website. So you don't need to call them up and say, hi, I want to know what to do to get with your agency, or hi, I want to know how to be an actor, or hey, people have been telling me I should do voices all my life. Want to hear some? And which is great, but I'm going to give you the same answer, which is go to our website and follow the submission instructions and have a really awesome voice demo. So do your research before you apply. And another one is probably don't record your own voice demo on your phone in your bathroom. There are tips and tricks, but again, that comes back to doing your research. Just do your homework. And as a coach, when you tell your actors, do your homework. It's the same thing when you're applying to an agency. Do your homework, have all your ducks in a row before you apply.
Yeah. That's really good. And I think that when somebody doesn't follow submission instructions, they're telling you that they're not going to follow direction.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you wonder if they've even checked out where did you hear about the website, and or the agency, and did you even check out the website? And you kind of want to know how the agency operates before you jump to that. And whoever answers the phone, don't give them heck, because that's not a good start.
Yeah, and they're somebody that they're
gonna be helping you out. So
about.
yeah, and honestly, if there's an administrative assistant who answers the phone when you call an agency, be respectful, because they're going to be relaying your message to the agent. So that will be kind of your first impression. So you want to be mindful.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but any assistance I've ever had has been someone I greatly love.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with everyone at our agency and our administrative assistants. I wonder how our agency functions without them.
Right, because
I love them.
Yeah. So the trust level is very high. So whatever they say, it's going to be, I
Just
agree.
be respectful, be kind to everybody. It's not hard.
I'm going to ask you this because I had this conversation with another agent many, many moons ago. Mm-hmm. And I want to know if you've had this letter, because I did when I was an agent, and so did she. Okay. And we were, to whom it may concern, I've heard so much about you.
Oh, I get that a lot. I get that a lot.
You don't know my name, but you've heard so much about me.
To whom it may concern, I've heard so much about you. Yes.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they've given the wrong name, and then they've CC'd the different agents that they've all emailed to. I mean, I'm kind of easygoing and I get it. And I might overlook it, but some people might not. I might be like, hey, so-and-so, this is Shannon, not Charlotte at so-and-so talent agency, but it happens and I get it. And, actors want to, and I do suggest sending your package out to a bunch of different agencies, because you never know who's going to get back to you. But again, just do your research and maybe take a breath before you send that email. Yeah. And just make sure that you know who you're contacting.
Yeah. And it is so easy to make that mistake. I mean, probably
totally.
Every human being alive has done something in that realm.
Of course.
Yeah. But it's a good one to bring up because everybody does it.
Yes.
What should be on a demo and what should not be on a demo?
Oh, man. So I don't I shouldn't say personally. I don't think demos should be 10 minutes long. I don't even think demos should be 3 minutes long. For a voice demo, it's different from a film and television demo. You want to show a good range in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And show what you know how to currently do. Don't submit a demo from like 10 years ago going, yeah, I could probably do those voices again, but maybe your voice has changed a little bit. So have it current, show a good range in a short amount of time, because probably not everyone's going to listen to your entire demo.
That's exactly what I recommend. I say 30, 30, 30, like three takes, 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Each. Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool. Let me ask you.
My computer is on 4%.
Okay.
Pause it for a second.
Sorry?
Can I just grab my charger for 2 seconds?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. On pause. All right, we're back from the pause.
Yes.
What wisdom can you give voice actors about getting into the business and about getting into the work and staying in the work?
That's a loaded question.
Don't get into it.
It'll take a while. I think what's most important is, and what I really look for is people who actually want it. Right. Want it. Don't think that, hey, cool, that would be fun. And if it happens, and, want it. Because when you really want it, you work for it. And, tenacity is really important. Whether it comes to on-camera acting or voice acting, you got to stay into it. You got to stay with it. You got to keep going. And when you want it, you will keep going. You have that drive for more. And be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's not everything's going to work out. We all have crappy auditions, and you know, you might walk out of there thinking, I totally blew it. It happens to all of us. And sometimes I have clients who call me and they're just like, oh man, you know, I totally blew it. And I couldn't pronounce this word, or I flubbed a line. And I'm just like, we're human, like it happens. Be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's most important, because we really need a thick skin in this industry. So be kind to yourself. Don't take things too personally, and keep in it, keep working, keep going for it. Just talk to people, work with people in the industry, and keep those batteries charged. Because before you know it, you're going to get that call and they're going to book you just off of your demo, and you got to be ready to jump in that booth tomorrow.
Totally. And that is a great way to end. That is a great way to end. Thank you so much. It was delightful to meet you, and
so nice to meet you finally.
yeah, same. And you're way cooler than I thought. You were a great agent, but you're way cooler and more fun than I thought you were. This is
Thank
really
you.
fun.
That's so nice.
Okay. We'll see you again.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.